have 3 children and they've never been to school, which means I have to manage home educating 3 different aged people at different levels at the same time, and I only have a certain hours in my week. If this sounds like something that might be useful to you, keep watching, because I'm going to tell you my tips and tricks on doing that and not losing my mind any more than I already have. Hello and welcome to Adventure All The Way. I'm Emma and I'm a home educating mum of 3 from the UK. And if you're new here, welcome. Here we talk all things neurodivergent family life in a family of 5. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. You know that when I see that you like and comment and subscribe, I do this. Woo! Because you are a returning viewer, and I've told you repeatedly that I do a happy dance every time I see you interact with me. So I'm an extrovert. I love it when people interact with me. It makes me super happy, so keep doing it, please. I have been officially home educating since compulsory school age for 8 years, but really I've been doing it for 12 years because it starts from birth. Home educating starts from birth, and you just stop doing it when your child goes to school. And if you keep home educating, you just keep home educating. So I'm going to show you some tips and tricks that I've picked up from home educating my 3 children who are almost 8, 11 and 13. That time went very quickly. Tip 1 is embrace group learning. There's a couple of ways that you can do this, but personally, these are my kind of tricks that I think work best. Number 1 is have morning meetings. You can start with like a family circle time or just chatting. My children love to come into my bedroom in the morning when I'm journaling or when I'm knitting, before I kind of am up with the world. And we like to connect and have a little chat between the 4 of us about what we're going to do that day and what's coming up that is, scheduled into the day, and what we're going to do with our free time. Another option is unit studies, and I've talked about unit studies a lot because it is the main way that we educate our children here at Adventure All The Way. And you can check out my unit study curriculum for $10.99. It's in my Payhip shop, and if you want to test it out before buying it, you can do a whole month. What is this? You can do a whole month for free. It's on the Payhip shop. You just download it, and then if you like it, you can go and buy the whole year. So there you go. We use unit studies because they cover history, science, geography, art, cooking, language arts. They can cover literally everything. You can cover maths if you want them to. And older children can go deeper and dive in more. Younger children can just do the basics. And I think it just works really, really well overall. And finally, read alouds. I have talked long time ago about read alouds, and I haven't done any with my children for ages. I need to kind of add it back in. I'm actually devising a brand new education philosophy for other people to use as well as me, but based on what I believe for my children, and I'm just going to share it with everyone else. But one of those things that's in there is read alouds, and I think read alouds of reading to each other is really, really important. I think for hundreds of years, it has been a way that families have bonded and spent time together and entertained themselves. So I just think that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So tip number 2 is independent work for older kids. If your children are able to do that, the older ones, then definitely get them doing it. My eldest is almost 13, and Charles does maths by himself. I just let him get on with it. Bessie's almost 11. She does maths on her app, which I talked about in my previous video. They just go and do theirs and they get on with it. Albert needs a little bit more assistance. He only really started formal learning at the age of 7. He was almost like between 6 and 7. So he still sometimes needs help with more complicated words, whereas the other 2, they just get straight on with it. Another thing about their maths feature is if they do struggle with something, they can press a speaker and the RXL reads it to them, so they don't have to worry about that quite so much. But Albert needs a little bit of support, maybe more than the other 2 do, so I can sit with him and do something. And they can go off and do their thing. I think if they've got something that they can do independently, like an app, you can send other ones that are able to do that away while you're focusing on a different subject with somebody else. So staggering work sessions, if you can put them at different times throughout the day. So maybe you do one child at one point in the day and then one child at another point in the day and so on. You could also rotate. So for example, you do something together and then you do something singularly, the others, you know, go and do something else. Maybe you can set up a craft for them, they do that, and then they okay, you come and do this, and you finish your craft later, or something like that. Why are you... My puppy's crying. Something that I like to do is that I will, on days when we maybe are just doing English and maths, I will sit down and do English with one child, we'll do our reading and our writing while the other two are doing their maths, and then as that finishes we then rotate that way. So then the one of them who's finished their maths then come and does English reading and writing with me, and then the one who's finished can go and do something like an art or a craft, or I might give them a YouTube video to watch, so I have time to then do the others. It can be quite complicated and it literally feels like you're juggling, but you can kind of keep a circle going of, okay, while you're doing this, you two are doing this, and then when you're done that, you're doing this. And you can even, Taylor, if you want to say hello to the lovely people of YouTube, you can come and say hello. But you have to stop complaining. Just turn you round. Look. Hi, everyone. I'm a whiny pants. She's like, how dare you? So the other point was, you know, going back to unit studies again, is combining subjects where possible. If you can do something that's, you know, that's geography, if you don't want to do a unit study, but you could learn about the, I don't know, just pluck something up top of my head. You could learn about the history of China. You can also do the geography of China while you're doing that. You can do both at the same time, and cuts down on the amount of time. You could also do, say you're using a Twinkle subscription, you could find one topic and you could do the lower key stage worksheets for a younger child, but then the more in-depth ones for an older child, and then just do them at the same time. It can get a bit chaotic when I've done something like that. It can get a bit chaotic when one person needs you help and the other person needs something, and you're doing 3 different kind of levels at the same time. It's not the bit I would choose, but that might work for you. It would probably work if you have 2 children. If maybe you've got 3 or more, it might be a little bit more complicated, but every family is different. I might be going, this wouldn't work in my house, and you're going, oh yes, that would work in mine. So it's kind of like when you see those tarot readings on TikTok or Instagram Reels, you know, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And finally, if you can, plan ahead and stay flexible. I know that it's hard for some people, and I really struggle with flexibility. It's actually something that I am only just like getting the hang of now. Planning ahead I'm really good at. Sticking to the plan, however, ADHD, is really, really hard. Staying flexible can sometimes, I do feel a little bit rigid sometimes, because I'm like, I want us to do this thing, it's going to be so good, and then it doesn't happen, and Hello, it's Emma editing here. I had to edit out this whole bit at the end of the video because Taylor started playing with a plastic bottle and all you could hear was over the background. So what I was going to say is, don't forget to check out my Payhip shop. I have loads of freebies in there and I'm adding new products every week. At the moment, we have a brand new Launch into Home Education bundle, which has my Getting Started ebook and all of my other things, and I'm adding to the website, to the Payhip shop every week. We have got some new things coming up as well to watch out for, so keep checking back, which include a brand new year-round nature study and a football themed writing book workbook, as well as what else have we got? I've also got my brand new home education philosophy that I have devised myself. It's a little bit of Charlotte Mason, a little bit of Waldorf, a little bit of Forest School, a little bit of unschooling, a little bit of Montessori, and a little bit of Reggio. So it's a little bit of all of these philosophies that I love little bits of. I've always called myself an eclectic home educator, and actually I was like, well, I could just make up my own philosophy. Because that's what everyone else did. They observed children and then they made philosophies. And I've observed my children and I've made a philosophy based on them. And I would love to share it with you if it works for your children too. That's coming up in the near future. It's literally going to outline how to home educate your children. And this works amazing for us. It's not going to work for everybody, but it's going to have everything that you need to get started in there. And I'm so excited about it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok if you have them. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.